welcome,
Uh,
Stormstormer. Willkommen,
Hello.
willkommen. We English stream right now because there was no English coverage, but I guess every German viewer will understand what you say. First of all, congrats to that victory. In game 1, it looked kind of bleak, but game 2, easy comeback. Game 3 looked really good. Well, how do you feel about the series? How do you feel about the tournament? How was the motivation in your team today? Yeah, just tell us about it.
Well, first of all, big thanks, of course, for the congrats. Yeah, we feel freaking great, obviously. I think the motivation is pretty high. I mean, yesterday we took a game of Alliance, and
Yeah.
considering we are playing together since, Alliance is playing together since 1 year, right, or something, and we played together since 3 days.
Yeah.
We felt super good already.
Yeah.
And today that didn't change really.
Okay.
I think we were pretty chill going into the series. Misery is doing a good job of keeping us calm in that sense,
Okay.
and yeah, we really enjoyed our time. You can feel that the team is having fun together.
That's always nice to hear. That's always nice to hear. So let's talk about the bad stuff first. The first game, you picked the Visage. Did you plan to flex it to mid, or what was the plan with the Visage? Because I didn't really feel it. What was the plan?
So there were definitely options to flex it,
Okay.
but eventually we tried this trialing thing, right? It was a little bit of an experiment. We didn't
Yeah.
do it too often.
Yeah.
Um, and fair enough, like they just found a good way of dealing with it.
Okay.
The bottom lane didn't really work out as we wanted it to, and then we got stuck with our two supports in a pretty uncomfortable position.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
like the Visage pick was one struggle for sure, but we didn't really have an answer for the Bristol back, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
That cheese pick just really caught us off guard. And
Yeah.
we had a last pick open, and we had no idea what to pick. And
Yeah.
that's why we banned it games
Yeah.
after.
Yeah, I feel like I've already seen Crystallize play it in CIS, also on POS 1. I think Bristol is a really good hero right now.
Yeah, it feels really strong right now.
Yeah. A bit about the team. You've been playing with Tofu before in the German scene. We, of course, know it. The English-speaking people maybe don't know it. Stormstorm and Tofu, they have played in a German team before. But the other three players, how did you find together? How did it happen? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It basically goes about connections, right? Like over pubs, Misery and me just added each other on a friend list, and he just asked me if I was interested in trying out with him in the upcoming DPC season. And it was basically the same story of Tofu. That's how Tofu and Misery came in contact.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't over you. Okay, cool.
No, it was not really over me.
Okay.
Like the main connection came from Misery, obviously. He was really hyped to build a new stack. And I myself, I didn't even know that Tofu was a candidate until 1 week ago.
Oh,
So that was a really, really, really funny coincidence, actually.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Obviously, I was hyped to play with a former teammate. And yeah, that was a good time. And obviously, Ace and Misery are both from Denmark, right? And they're friends.
Exactly,
So they were like in a dual pack.
Okay.
And Gilgear is the last player. I think he got found by our manager, and
okay.
That was like a last minute call.
Oh, okay.
I think we're really glad with the decision. Like Gilgear is also a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And I think we couldn't ask for anything better right now.
Yeah, like Gilgear, especially like his shaker in game 2 and 3 was, I don't know, maybe the enemies have to ban it from now on because that looked really insane. What he did. Of course, everything looked insane from you guys, but Gilgear shaker, man, he did a really good performance. Did you not find any? Like the roles are kind of I wouldn't say awkward, but like Misery is playing 3 and Tofu's playing 5. Was that a huge problem in your mind? So we're like, hey, these guys are good players. We can do the role switchy.
So initially we had different plans. Like Misery obviously wants to play support, and Tofu would have been a potential +4 player. Yep. But as it turned out, we were pretty late in our schedule. Like we were having trouble finding a proper +3 player. So Misery was just like, I'm just gonna go with this. And obviously, Misery is a really experienced, good, and strong player. Yep. So he's kind of making it work, even though 3 was not his main role.
Yeah.
And basically, we just adapted everybody. Like Misery just asked, "Hey Tofu, can you imagine playing 5?" Tofu said yes, and there was no reason not to try, right?
Exactly.
And that's basically how it got to this.
Okay, cool. That's looking really good. Like, I think everyone was hyped for you guys. and you delivered. Cryan, what do you think? Do you have some questions for Stormstormer?
Yeah, I have one big question because when the series started, I was pointing out that for me, the games looked kind of 50-50, like just seeing the both teams with giving you the edge in the unique players, like in overall skill, and giving Brame the edge in experience because they're playing together for some longer time than you guys, obviously. And I was saying that every competitive match that you guys do will make you better. Did you have the feeling that, like, during the series from game one to game two to game three, it really felt like clicking from game to game?
So I mean, definitely, right? It's not necessarily just that, especially in the series, we improved, but since we are such a fresh stack, as you mentioned, like we are definitely getting more used to each other. Like we are a super hype stacked. Everybody individually is super motivated, but what comes out of this sometimes is, for example, that the communication is a bit messed up. Like everybody is talking nonstop, and it can be a bit noisy. But stuff like this, like communication, would be one nice example, I guess. Stuff like this got a lot better over the course of the series, because
Okay.
we used the time between each match to talk about, hey, what went wrong here? Let's adapt. And so
That's-
I guess I could say clear yes to that.
Okay.
Like there's no doubt that we
Okay.
improve.
This is something we, especially me, I really had the feeling that every game you played in this series made you communicate better. So in the first game, of course, your lanes were kind of scuffed by the picks already. But from game to game, I had the feeling that especially your supports like Tofu and Gilgar are playing together, like really being a union. Like the last game, they made a lot of moves together, and it really was super smooth, the how you made the ganks and stuff like this. So I really felt that.
Yeah, definitely. Like it was different for us. Like it is also a bit draft dependent, obviously. Like you can't only say that, hey, this is all just communication improvement. Every game is a bit different, but um, we definitely made better use of our capabilities, I would say, over the course
Mhm.
of the series.
Also for the last game, since you're a mid player as well, um, what do you think about the Tinker pick by Brame? Like it was in my opinion very ballsy.
In my head, honestly, I just thought that, like, I mean, Wish is an excellent Tinker player, right? It's one of his best heroes, if not the best hero. And I honestly think it was just like, hey, this is our last game, our last shot, just pick me Tinker, something like this.
Yeah.
I also felt like it is a really ballsy pick, because we already had a puck pick in the draft. So it's really straightforward to play this game. So I'm not sure. I think it's just his main comfort, and he was just like, just give me this,
Yeah.
honestly.
I was saying the same thing like a couple of minutes ago, that I thought it was his call to go for the Tinker because he had an excellent performance yesterday, right?
I didn't see that match, but I can only imagine. Like his Tinker in Puffs is annoying for sure.
And also for game two, because game two was like one of the best games for like watching Dota 2 I had in the last couple of days or even weeks. It was like head to head, Brame had the edge, and you were like in the comeback position. When was like the point for you guys in game two where you really felt, okay, we had a rough start, but now it's shifting, it's turning? Was it the Roshan?
I gotta think a bit. Game two is so far away. I don't quite remember the Roche, honestly. Oh, I think I remember barely, but the entire game, we obviously felt a little bit behind after laning stage. I got a little bit messed up on mid lane, and Ace died to a black hole bottom and things like that. But in terms of draft, we felt very comfortable because we had an answer to the Enigma with the Spectre, and we had good, like, easy ways of pushing the lanes. So we never really felt like there was one big shifting point, because we never really felt like we were so far behind. Is how I can say it. Like, we basically just waited for our timings, like a big Spectre item or my BKB, and even though we were a little bit behind in net worth, I think because of our drafts, we would have a decent shot at fighting the enemy team.
Yeah.
And probably the moment we got that Roshan and I got the Aegis, we really felt like this game is in our back. It's basically unlosable at this point.
Actually, it was Ace having the Aegis in game 2, not you.
No, Storm
I
got
think
it
I
at
got it
minute
once too,
39
right?
at the end, before the end.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one was yeah. Now I remember. I got the
Because-
second one because I used buyback. Yeah.
Like I
Exactly.
especially mentioned the Roshan because Brain was in the driver's seat in game 2, and when you got the Roshan and the Aegis, they were so scared to commit something because they knew, okay, Ace had got double life, and when he comes back, he will go pop the haunt, and it's going to be really hard. And in my opinion, those 5 to 6 minutes that you guys had the Aegis made like really the edge on coming back in this game because they were so scared on committing on you guys, and you could like get those 2 items you mentioned right on the Spectre that were making a huge difference in the fights.
Definitely. Like I gotta admit, I don't remember the exact Roshan situation and why we got the first rush.
It was straightforward. You just went in, did it.
Yeah, I guess we just had I mean, that's why we picked Radiant, right? As well, when we get the coin flip, we just took Radiant because you have the stupid Rosh advantage for whatever reason, and yeah, basically we just went for it. And as you said, the moment we got that Rosh, we felt like this game is gonna be straightforward for us now.
Oh, nice.
We had a good time in this game.
Okay.
Question. In all 3 games you had the last pick. Do you choose it, or did they choose it, or who was more comfortable?
You don't have to answer this, by the way, if it's like too
yeah,
much
sure.
strategy.
If it's like leaking something or anything, you don't have to answer it. But...
I was about to say, I'm probably not going to go into detail whether my team prefers second pick or first pick. I think that would be counterintuitive.
Yeah.
I will go that far that our team probably prefers Radiant, as I just mentioned, but I think that goes for almost every single team out there right now.
Exactly, yeah. It's
So,
just...
that's pretty straightforward.
Okay, cool. I would say one last question. So you beat Alliance 1 game out of 3. You beat Brame 2 games out of 3. What do you think about the tournament from now on? You're gonna have to play the loser of which is it? You're probably not gonna have to play Alliance again, right? So
I think it is Alliance.
You play Chicken or Viking? Yeah, what are your thoughts about these teams?
Well, Chicken or Viking, they're an old classic, right? I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Chicken changed up their roster. I don't quite remember who was exactly the roster right now, but
Saberlight for Jesse swap basically.
Oh, just those two.
And Xibber versus Sonaiko or Misha.
Oh yeah, Xibber and Sonaiko, right?
Yeah.
Well, I definitely think it's safe to say that Viking GG is the more scary team on first sight. I think they were at least a 1.5 team, like tier 1.5 team in my eyes.
Yeah.
They've beaten a lot of strong teams, so they have a really good performance. For so-called underdogs, I don't even know if you could call them underdogs anymore.
Yeah.
You probably don't.
No.
So, I mean, honestly, to me, it doesn't matter who I play against.
Okay.
We're just gonna focus like any other opponent. But I would say that obviously Viking GG is the stronger team because Chicken Fight is also a really newly formed team.
Yeah, exactly.
But
okay.
We're looking forward to playing on Sunday, though.
Yeah, on Sunday, right? Yeah. So you probably prepare against Chicken Fighters. If there's like some special preparing doing. T Governor is like your coach or manager, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. I said last question, so it's going to be last question. Well, what do you want to say to the fans, to the sponsors, to any potential sponsors trying to pick you up, or any socials? Just yeah, shoot it out.
Well, obviously, guys, thanks for tuning in. It's always nice for people. The more people watch the scene, the more interesting it gets for all of us, obviously, to play as well. So thanks for all the guys tuning in, and shout out to my team boys, obviously, having a good time so far, considering we're only playing for 1 week or so. And yeah, just curious what the future will bring to us, and I think we got some potential, and we'll make the best out of it.
Definitely, I think so too.
Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Cryan.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the interview, and well, good luck on Sunday. Maybe we can talk again after qualifying.
Hopefully.
Easy. Have a good night.
GG, guys.
GG.
Good night as well. Enjoy your weekend.
Good night. Bye-bye.